Sleeves here with your Senior Pickleball Report presented by TNC Network. Let's get it going. Today we're going to talk about paddle evolution, and specifically my paddle evolution over the last 9 months, in finding what works for me and how that may help you find what works for you as well long term. Again, this is an ongoing process. I'm sure through the years, with new technology, new paddle designs, my evolution with the paddle will continue to evolve, so to speak. So that's what we're getting into today. So before we do, if you like the content of this channel, please consider subscribing. Again, if you'd like to get somebody involved in the sport at a base level and not spend a lot of money, or you want to get involved at a base level, try A11N Sports. And hey, let's talk about the paddle evolution. All right, let's look at the evolution of the paddle, specifically to me over the last 9 months, really. And most of us, when we start with something like this, and I was no different when I first started playing. You kind of take what's available to you. And I started playing with my brother-in-law and sister, and they had some paddles. And I think I hit something probably similar to this in the very beginning, or a lower end paddle. But, profile pretty skinny, made of wood, got a specific pop sound to it. It's got some speed to it, but a little heavy for me. Long handle, which I liked, and it's ribbed. Not sure if I'm a fan of that, and don't really need a little string there to hold my hand in place. So I kind of wanted to move up, and the picture you see on the screen is the next paddle I actually purchased, which is a Franklin paddle, about $30. And, I picked it up in the store, held it. I'm like, well, it's not wood. Feels good. Took it out and played a couple of games, and I realized really quick it was a little heavy, and I think this paddle is probably somewhere in the 8.3, 4 range. And so I didn't really play with it too long because it really started to bother my elbow. And then I went out and I bought this Selkirk Latitude, which, again, this is a honeycomb paddle just like the Franklin one I bought, but a little lighter, a little wider. And I played my very first tournament with this, and this has served me well, and I passed this along to my wife. And then I replaced this paddle for her and got her kind of the classic Ben Johns Franklin paddle, lighter than obviously the cheaper version of the Franklin paddle I showed you earlier. And nice paddle. It's got some grip to it, nice grip, and I played a few games with it. I like it. I'm not a big fan, though, for me personally, of paddles with edge guards. I find that after I used something like this and then eventually moved to something like this, my first high-end paddle, I realized really quickly I like the maneuverability of a thin, edgeless paddle. And Gearbox CX11 has been a great paddle for me so far. It's also got some texture to it to spin the ball. It's got a long handle. It's an elongated paddle. And again, this thing will last forever. This is built a little differently than something like this because this has a honeycomb inside of it, and this does not. This is mainly carbon fiber, and it will last a little longer because it just won't break down, and the honeycomb in these will eventually, you might start to find some dead spots. But this paddle seems pretty rugged and pretty tough and should last me a lot of years. I use this paddle mainly for when I play singles. It's got a longer handle. I can reach a little further. If I want to do it two-handed, I can do that as well. I was still having a little bit of elbow issues, although they improved as I changed paddles. And then I went to what is supposed to help with my elbow pain, and that is the Kenex Flight Ovation with kinetic technology. It's got a little bit of a shake to it, and I've been playing with this for about a month, and this helps disperse the vibration through the arm and to the elbow. A little shorter handle, same edgeless look to it. It is honeycomb. But it feels very similar in play to the Gearbox. It's probably slightly softer feeling, which I like for playing doubles, especially at the net. And because it has a shorter handle, it's just a little less balance issue when I choke up. And both of these, I found out also that if I wrap the grips really thick, I put 2 over grips on both of these. And that seems to help as well with my control and my elbow issues as well. So that is kind of the evolution I went through. But if you look at where I've come, the profile of these really hasn't changed all that much. Little softer feel, but again, very similar in a lot of ways. And moving out of kind of these are a little clumsy for me as the way I play at the net. So that is my evolution thus far. And obviously, as we all know, technology changes, new paddles come out, our bodies change, and so on and so forth. So I know for sure that this journey will continue for me, as it will for all of us. So share in the comments what your paddle evolution has been, what you found out and discovered, and what you prefer as well. And if you're looking to move up to a higher end paddle, check out Just Paddles. They're one of our new affiliates, and they have 30 brands and tons of models to look for, and there'll be a link in the description. Also, we're selling our shirts, and this is the players version of Senior Pickleball shirt, so check that out. The link's in the description as well, and that will help support the channel and allow us to bring content to you in the future. So, hey, have some fun with your paddles and get out there. Let's pickle.